Osei Kyei mensa kwakubosu. Bebacho we NDC documenta. Woman the bar a year on the co-elections. And this I talking about infrastructure. Ivan.
Yes, you see, now me kind of baby say when NPP is in power, they cause distraction, they destroy. When they are in opposition, they morph into saboteurs. So when they are in power, they destroy. When they come into opposition, they turn themselves into saboteurs. They are way beyond message now. You see, Abra Akufo-Addo power no. Adia bakwana Ghana for years so much worried about a abandoned project. Because Mahama started project Okumasia and then the bottom sika no the starting yeah. A Ghana for sika. So as a government, you know, our government you say governance a continuum no. You cannot abandon such a project because anyamena meye and now allow such a monumental project to rot. Yebi eko esagleme. We did the same thing. And a Ghana for Gina so kahubi and amode kotoaba. So you expect the president now abano who abandoned project I also was started. No way. Because he's not ruling this particular country on his own terms. Oh.
Exactly.
He's ruling on the terms Ghana for no war. Because Ghana for them overwhelming mandate man. And for me, sa agenda 111 year, omudi ye de go and look at the expenditure. Sikano, there was no money. Kakana one almost spread it on what started near Manina, Bakukran Mutimi Drew baby. And the kind of hospital. Sometimes people are funny. They think that building is when a hospital. No. What's here, Dina? We know stocking it is a new level. That's 10. Because hospital is not about a building. You need to stock it with the state of the and the money hospital. Now, what to foundation now? We see as a hospital by a dean hospital, but it's not hospital. But the government has accepted the challenge. Say, Maye amana ye because you see hospital now. Ghana for the benefit, and no be on Ghana politics. Majority leader went to me in the year. Your people felt that we are incompetent. Am I a pamo we are kete? I could follow the pamo because they felt say when you need there, but we not competent enough to lead the party. Ya pamo na bra no ready. He wanted to even resign from the party. Am I man for credit? Such a person today has the moral audacity to be engaging media and be talking about say abino nearma or ye be or more nearma no more nearma bang. With you NPP lay any for solid foundation and I can hold him go said it got to a time there was nothing sensible to speak to as a government. Everything I remain relevant to the point to say the Ashanti regional minister on radio a challenge radio host man Akwanya say on kika ade aye no Ashanti region. He could not mention a thing. What has here?
Simon Osei.
Yes. And even the national chap, one of the executive, Captain Smart to show, the same thing. They could not mention a single monumental project. Why, yeah, on one casa in Florida.
In 8 years,
8 good years. Such shameless characters, and then, or Matias Bonte in the name of politics because for cheap. And because when you go sit behind some of the microphone, some of the journalists are also like that. They can't even ask any sensible questions. And then they just allow you to say anything. All cast answer no and I will be sense papa Pakistan na free ban as free China na eba because anka wo kroma in the last 8 years ansem we are okay there nanka mo akwanya sanka betimi aye ni ye but abana waba for 1 year no you don't expect government overnight and everything will turn boom considering the economy that you left behind. So that is why I make us say emma yabomubu as a young person because so to anywhere in the past now here's a uncle for when na who free say omboye politician who see bibia free omo ho na ene omo kasa the poverty of wit and intellect that they live in their work near shocking. Then you begin to turn around and say, nah, it is better I listen to a young person than to listen to some of these old cargoes because omono it is about them. Because some now kind of a pure partisan politics seeking to gather certain relevance for a party that has degenerated into the gutters. Because MPP need credibility. Be Ashanti regional free banner. Corona could be young people out there whether they trust the MPP. These are things you should be able to speak about. Because baby, people are looking at the economic statistics and the indicators. So you adapt to your GDP. For the first time in so many years, I drop it to 45%. I buy no crown. The projection as for nam baby dollar. One of the Fitch, I catch and say, you bet ended 2025. I was 15.5. Yeah. I connect 10.5. So these are things that defy all the projections. Yankasa over last year budget na yeah na.
Yes.
We no be a project yeah inflation. Inflation be a project too, you know. You try. Yan can say a projection with the fight. Besides DNS, something is happening. And to your opposition, when you look at all these things, you have no other option than to commend the government and expect more. Okay, say why you but you can do more. That is a challenge than seeking to trivialize the whole thing as if we are the papa B. We can do the statistics, we can do comparative analysis, and we can look at the figures, what Ghanaians were going through to the extent that inflation at some point in time was around 54. In the history of this country, when was the last time we say inflation? Bank of Ghana na juma aye monetary policy. Ya run Bank of Ghana boka. Because kwa braneti ho or that's no pa. No the Bank of Ghana print sika. Ya ni buy ho so in a year omo boka over 60 billion. Obi aka ho asem. This same jokers did a press conference because they say Sami Jamfia cotton gold boka. What the Bank of Ghana? Bank of Ghana omo ton to say omo ton seminar. Bank of Ghana enibia. But Bank of Ghana recorded 60 billion unprecedented in the history of this country. You can't lost. You lost. And then you go to other sector. Other senseless interventions. You do my sika shame. Now what about your friends at cathedral?
Yes.
Or such a men Santi Kruma and I could for the quadra son and there's all your my sika basic cathedral. Obient men you had anyone Kenyans as a man chairman, and it did some who could judges for dying to go. And Naminoka say Ghana the cast $97 million. And I saw such a shameless character today had the audacity to be doing what? Politics in I am for, and you see, yeah, in such a way, say, so watch your wood, you can say anything and get your own because Ghana, your baby, you put to prominence on. And some of the panel can nyansa a woman. Because some of these people will just fade into obscurity. Because obi akra so because Abrano nyasa mobio, Mabo Bobby in the last 8 years. The track record is just there. Obi ahu ahotira Ghana for come. It got to a point. Oko airport a hocha makola. Because every single young person in this country was living through the next available flight or kwabruchire. Because economy ni nema mfa. And menka se nema ye yesa. But gradually, no. There is confidence that is returning. And then investors can bring their money back and invest into the country. And the rating agencies now, omu rating a junk, you know, and omu nyina rewrite their book. Say, are you aware that Ghana can go out there and borrow? But we are not borrowing. Yeah. Ghana can go there and out and borrow, but we are not borrowing. You understand? Actually, said the government has been very disciplined. What beside home baby John Mahama Konya Sika? Domestic debt exchange program for no what you amoka 2 times. What beside home say what beside home baby Onya Sika? Sika na. Yakobo bosia e domestic way na enam so mo ban ye euro bond no what 2 times what be some baby onya sika no energy sector na ka me ne no na no what be some baby okonya sika no but over the years I didn't na ye ntia e sure say the gentleman is doing something or try to reverse the economy no sabeya once again Ghana will become a beacon of hope to a month for a sub-region because over the years from independence to Ghana has always been a shining star example a month for you because independence and 57 you know in a period of 10 years near to inspire over 30 African countries to get independence all because of Ghana. It's a mention what Debbie so we have Ghana flag now Sakala nano we adopt here. So the Ghana, exactly, because they could not take it just like it is. Yes. So Ghana flag, you know, and I'm inspiration what we did into no, I'm picking your colors, you know, into we are no attend, no, we are no any say, where I any say, yes, you can count. Just say we've always led the way for others to learn from us, to follow us. Nebedru or mine a humiliation on the global stage. Obo Ghana I because we could not even borrow. Government can cook the books, write you have fake figures, not their core international we so expose you. These are the realities that you go through. And during this time, no, these people were here. They were part of the establishment and this answer. I don't know the day. And now say no munye be different because they were enjoying, you know. Nobody was bold enough to stand in front of Akufo-Addo back kind of crying out and say, Chale, this is not what we promised the people of this country. We need to do things and do things right. Sebeya, you bet me leave a legacy. You bet me boy. Even a opposition crowd party na bano. Look at the state NPP women there. The party itself na kama kacha say the brand na nkasa no atiti apansam. Our party na ankasa is a problem. What be sounds as I nim the nyansa no more the tin channel. I don't know fan rebuild the party no. Now no more by look at people more popping up to more president on the ticket of the NPP. Who be sounds the because that is the state a party that be doing there. And to omwa dibiana they need to draw back. look at these basic things. Now I'm fix it. Or fix that credibility problem now, then you begin to engage Ghana for Ghana for better watum. Until so be do that level of acceptability at Ghana for who say, okay, baby, I'm about to do it. You have that moral clearance to criticize Obino. Until so be do that page, you know, and dear be regarded as noise. Is the reason why people don't take them serious anymore. And unfortunately, they are not amenable to reasoning. They are not amenable to wisdom. They become very hostile to it. Now look at the characters leading the party. Now no, Professor Babu and Tobakan Asemi. Now no and see now the whole general secretary to radio Suki Kansem who gaga. Professor Adibia can same way. As a badrima, you subject to critical scrutiny as identity and all kinds of same way. As some no cano take it time, not dinner home, now reflect it, now look at what is going on in the party before you react. But I know and see na on radio sina bronya nam hana we nama and sa. So how do you build such a party? And today these people have the audacity out there telling Ghana for say they see buomai. Munim say they see buomai and the last 8 years in the FA me I believe in multi-party democracy. And say NDC require strong baby. Now say NPP ye weaker. At the end of the day, or mine na fa. Because for democracy to thrive properly, no. You need to build these institutions, make them very competent enough. Sebaya, Obia betimia standing abiding toe to toe because lie in the constructive criticism and the dialogue na yebaya within your development and lie. Because a woman will be chance to lead without any opposition. I know the day, they will take things for granted. So we need the MPP to be responsible. But unfortunately, they don't even want to be responsible. And I think, these are the basic things. And some now all kind of, he's just espousing their nature, advertising who they are and what they represent. A buying project, and I could for examples with that we can cite. But then John Mahama say that narrative is a sick narrative. He want to deviate from that narrative. A buying project is a buying project. A Ghana for Sikane, no matter what, when never started yet. As long as it's going to serve the interests of the people, I will make sure we complete it. It's the reason why he has directed all the ministries. Any uncompleted project, make sure you finish it. And now there is another directive. Yes, sir. Schools now, see your mujan. Yes, sir. Conference saying, blocks, yes. Ongoing construction or make sure that the mujan or meeting so free SHS no more buy no. I know the day there was a challenge ya choke and cry any baby nko not school dance kuram now be saying yes assemble the womb and no be no to a buying for say a dan ya kan gura me adentina young complete na yam fan krankom rather than say yeah running gold green red and whatever say. So for me I think they have no moral audacity. Omono sa attitude cross politics na e kire say we opposition that criticize you know that's exactly what they are doing and they are not even doing it anyway. But one thing that be am person be catch am for tell say politics answer na beti me criticize you know make sure say wonan ejina yie because wonan ejina yie now you lack credibility obekanya nsasem Ghana for not take it serious. It's the reason why Fenyo man can be a press conference now be comment na se no atema man for odinu na press conference no ye no because nipa nim say won Kenya nsasem abraba boy is quite obvious. They say me no ka ECG wo tokura muja no hokra na nyantu anwie Ghana for expect say enka ene you've been prosecuted. And today you have the audacity to stand on your feet and be saying what? So for me, I think that we are on course, looking at how things are going, making sure that are buying them and deviate. Not the Ghana for penal on your mom. Not development. Man for being that is what Ghanaians are looking out for. Because young people don't want pity. They don't want to say, oh, no. Make sure job available or apply obenya ko yenu na omutu kwan kwa America no obi enu all the protocol na ko duru ha once onsa o adwen be ya adwuma no obenya adwuma anya sika sa na ese Ghana ye you don't need to know anybody before you have access to job, and that is the kind of way the ultimate Ghanaian dreamer me free say yenya ebetimi aboaye, and that is what the government is working towards.